So I felt like this chapter had special relevance to what is going on today with COVID-19 because, if you think about the situation that we're in, a lot of people are now spending a lot more time at home, obviously, and can't leave their houses, or a lot of places aren't open, so there's not a lot to do. People are also not working as much. And we're just supposed to stay home for the betterment of people and ourselves. But if you think about what this means for women who are abused in their own homes, it's a little frightening, honestly. It scares me to think about the fact that some women are not able to get help right now, or are like literally trapped somewhere where they are being abused. And I've seen a couple different people post helplines, which is good. But again, like, it's almost as though we really can't see into that home now, or we aren't able to see those people out every day like we normally would. We could check in on them that way. So that's a little frightening to me. It's also important to note that, yes, women are primarily the ones who are victims of domestic violence, usually, but that men are also victims. And I found it interesting. It would be interesting to look at the statistics of same-sex marriages, same-sex couples. That would be interesting, whether or not it differs from hetero sexual couples in that sense. So those are just my thoughts around this chapter. And I thought that it was particularly relevant because this is really important. And actually, I was reflecting on how the past two, the book review and the movie review, I both wrote about media that portrayed domestic violence. And both of those sources were ones where you wouldn't necessarily think that the person was being abused, just because from the outside it seems like a really healthy relationship. So that's kind of scary. In both situations, like, the closest people to those victims did not even know. I understand that it was what was portrayed, but I think that could also reflect, like, what happens a lot that we don't necessarily see, or we have a bias against it because we think that wealthy, privileged couples aren't necessarily put into that situation. And so I think that is also important to recognize, because we typically stereotype who would be in these situations, which blinds us, but also makes us assume things that we might not necessarily need to be assuming. It might be inappropriate, but okay, thank you.